Look at all that stolen land.
You okay, Bear Man?
You're a good boy. Your ancestors are buried in there, and they play golf on it. It sounds like Catherine just got out of the parking lot over there, the college. Should have brought the ramp. They can pop out of the sunroof. It looks like Catherine's saying something about them having trouble crossing with the cops. That's interesting. What's this all about? What's that? Get over. Yep. What are you saying? I think you're good. He just wants them to get over into the grass. Not the poor. Not the poor. No. Justice! Justice! Not the poor! 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 Justice! We want 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 no! Not the poor! 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 Justice! 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 Now! 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 Justice! Justice! No!
Not the poor. 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 Justice. 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 Not the poor. 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 Justice. 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 Not the poor. Not the poor. Not the poor. Justice. Justice. No. 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 We want justice. 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 We want it now. No. No. We want justice. We want justice. We want justice. Justice. Not the poor. 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 We want justice. We want justice. We want justice. Justice. When we want it now. When we want it now. When we want it now. Not the poor. 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 Justice. 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 We want justice. We want justice. We want justice. We want justice. When we want it now. When we want it now. When we want it now. Not the poor. 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 We want justice. 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 Now. When we want it now. When we want it now. When we want it now. We want justice. 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 When we want it now. When we want it now. When we want it now. Not the poor. 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 We want justice. 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 We want it now. We want it now. We want it now.
Guys, I'm going to say, stop the greed! And you will respond, down with Wall Street!
Say again.
Down with Wall Street is the response. I will say, stop the greed!
Wall Street.
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 Stop the greed! Stop the greed!
Not with Wall Street.
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 Stop the greed!
Not with Wall Street. That's the rich.
Not the
That's
poor!
the rich.
Not the poor!
That's 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 the rich.
Not the poor!
We want.
Justice!
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 What we want.
No!
What we want.
No!
What we want.
No!
What we want.
No!
That's the rich.
Not the poor!
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 We want.
Justice!
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 We want.
Justice! 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 Justice!
Everybody listen up. If we can move this cab, please. We want the photo of this house in the back. So I'm going to ask the banner to come stand over here, please. If this car can move up, and we all line up back here so we can have the photo of his house in the back for picture view. Oh. I want the banner over here. This cab, whoever has this cab right here, please move it up.
Who drives this cab?
On the road. We want his house in the back of the picture.
My brother, who drives that six?
So whoever drives this, please move it up, please. Guys, turn face me. All right, yes. And speakers, line up over here. I need Becky up here. Jennifer, Margot.
The picture should be behind the banner. Yes. Not a big picture.
Watch out, watch out. Watch out, watch out. Watch out.
Make some room for the picture. Make some room for the picture. Stop the greed.
That's the rich. That's the rich.
Not the
That's the
poor.
rich.
Not the poor.
That's the rich.
Not the poor.
That's the rich.
Not the poor.
That's the rich.
Not the poor.
If we can't get it, 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 I said if we can't get it, shut it down. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. All right, make some noise, New York City. All right. And Long Islanders, where you at? Where Long Islanders? All right. It is July 1st. And yet in 2020, we're still everyday New Yorkers asking the wealth to pay their fair share.
That ain't right. That ain't right. That's right.
In 2020, the rich are still getting richer, and the poor is getting poorer.
That ain't right.
In 2020, this former mayor, who's now being quiet yards away with maids that look like you and I, with servants that I'm pretty sure look like you and I, that are getting paid less wages like you and I, whose landscape and services are being catered to and treated to like you and I. And yet, he, among many others who are among the Billionaires Club, still don't get why we're out here protesting and fighting for them to pay their fair share to make sure our communities succeed and thrive for now and the future. We are here because our demands are very simple. If you're in our state and you are benefiting off the backs of individuals that look like you and I, the hard-working New Yorkers that make this economy strong, you need to pay up. That's right. So, former Mayor Bloomberg, let me let you know who I am. You see, my name is Jamel Henderson. I am a resident of NYCHA Public Housing in Brooklyn, New York. And I am an organizer with New York Communities for Change. But most importantly, I am a 4-time graduate of the City University of New York, and I'm in the Doctor of Education program, being the first class and being a black man from public housing, advocating for people like you and I each and every day. And I'm here to set the record straight. If you're making money off of us, you need to pay up. It's as simple as that. It makes no sense that you could come and take the lands of our brothers and sisters and think you can live quietly and peacefully after 12 grueling years of screwing the city over. Do you think you're going to live comfortably and peacefully thinking that you have a legend, that you did something great for the people of our city and Long Island people across the state when gentrification took over black and brown communities? When there are real estate developments that still don't have people to live in because they're choosing to keep their rent above $2,000 or more. There are individuals right now that are standing here that came all parts of the city and state because they're on the verge of being evicted from their houses and apartments, and while you're sitting back there with all your servants not paying attention, the people of our city and state are suffering, and we're saying enough is enough.
Shame, Bloomberg, shame on you!
You see, Bloomberg, we did not forget what you did to our city for 12 years. We did not forget that it was you who abruptly implemented stop and frisk and pretended that white folks were stopped and frisked before more than us. We remember the downtown Brooklyn plan, where Brooklynites made it clear we didn't want to be like Manhattan, but yet you still disobeyed the people of the borough of Brooklyn, and yet we have all these high rises and income levels that we can't even live in. We will never forget how you blatantly shown the injustices between the rich and the poor, and how people are still suffering from your so-called legacy that we're still living in today. We're saying today that we want you and all your uppity billionaires that look like you to pay your damn share. How can you say that all lives matter? How can you say that everyone can get an opportunity, yet in 2020, people are still trying to figure out where they're going to eat tomorrow? People are raising kids in homes and housing units that are still molded and full of lead paint. There are people that live in NYCHA that are still needing heat and hot water, even though it's July 1st, 2020.
That's right.
There are streets that still need repair. And let's not forget our schools.
That's right.
You said it yourself to many young kids over the years as mayor that education is the key to success. Well, stop giving us a rusted damn key.
That's right.
And don't think that we're here because this is a social media stunt or the members of the press, and I thank you for being out here, because let me let you know something about us. You see, this isn't a movement just for 90 days. There are people, matter of fact, not people. Watch this. There are voters. There are voters. No, y'all not hearing me, people. There are voters that are pissed off at what this state is doing, at what this pathetic excuse of a governor is doing, and I can say that because I'm a triple prime voter and I know what I'm talking about. There are people who are pissed off at our state and Senate leadership across this state and across this nation that are playing games and acting like they're comfortable riding the C train towards progressivism in our city and state, when we need to be taking our asses on the A train and getting express policies and express results right now. So, Mike Bloomberg, hello. I know you can't hear us all the way back there. I know you can't hear us back there, but you see those yards remind me of the entrances to plantations back in the day, where my brothers and sisters who were enslaved had to work in houses just like this. And we're going to hear from our brothers and sisters from the Shinnecock tribe, who we know that we're standing on sacred and holy ground, but yet we're stolen by these colonizers. We forgot that it was the Native Americans that came here and been here and still here and staying strong to hold the truth of what the real heritage of this soil and this land is all about. And I just want to let you all know today that this is a new day. This is day 31 of the new beginning. We got officers upset at us. We got the establishment candidates that are upset with us after what we did on Tuesday. And we need to let them know that come 2021, we're going to get new everyday people that's going to be members of the New York City Council, that's going to pass legislation that is going to help our city permanently move forward in the future. In 2022, Governor Cuomo, I'm telling you right now, quote me on this, you will be voted out. We're here to let you know today that all of those state elected officials that chose not to add the tax to wealth taxes, the ultra billionaires tax, the ultra millionaires taxes, since you want to choose power over people, the people are going to vote people over you and you will be voted out of office. We're here today to let you all know that everyday New Yorkers that plant trees that these rich people benefit from, that sweep the floors that these kids won't never have to understand what struggle looks like. We're here today to let you all know that your days of comfortability is over. Your days of pretending that you can separate yourself from us is over. If New Yorkers could take our behinds out all the way to the Hamptons, do you imagine what we will do if we need to get our fair share of taxes that's going to support our communities? So we're here to let you all know, Mike Bloomberg and many others, that you need to pay up. And if you don't pay up, trust me and believe me, it's a beautiful summer. We can come out here every day if we need to make noise and be consistently committed to the change that our communities are looking for right now. And with that, we're going to begin, and I want to introduce a phenomenal leader representing the Shinnecock tribe. Becky, where's Becky? Come on up. Let's give her a big, gigantic round of applause. I want to say that I honor you from one injustice racial group to another. I want to say that we stand in support of you because we know as black folk what stolen land looks like.
That's right.
We know as black people, we know what it means to be seen as inferior to the white male supremacist mentality. We got to specify what it is. We understand the fear of when we are present, the Karens and the Peters of the world start screaming and hollering and going all crazy. I get it. And we stand with you today. And we're here for you, and we will keep fighting to make sure you get what is yours. So thank you. Let's give her a big hand.
Mike Bloomberg! Today is a day of reckoning.
Yeah.
You know what reckoning means, Mr. Bloomberg?
That's right.
That means for 300 odd years, you live on stolen land from the Shinnecock people. You live in your mansions on stolen land. You play golf on their desecrated graves. While Shinnecock people live in shanties with mold and mildew, you pushed us into the swamp to die of swamp fever. That is your history. And I'm telling you right now today, Michael Bloomberg, you need to pay the Shinnecock people the restitution that you and it is in the trillions. The trillions. And when you pay us back, we can take care of every single person in New York State. I promise you, we can take care of everybody. We know how to take care of people. We've been doing it since they landed their boats. We have taken care of them.
Come on now.
We are in this together. I appreciate every single one of you coming out here to our ancestral, to our traditional lands of the Shinnecock people. We're going to shake them up, wake them up.
That's right.
My great-grandmothers were laundresses for you. They were prostitutes and had your illegitimate children. They were raped and murdered and degraded for centuries. And we've had enough.
It's enough.
That's right.
Enough.
Enough is enough. We've had enough.
Everybody.
So Mike Bloomberg and every single billionaire who has the nerve to sit their ass on stolen land, this is your day of reckoning. No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
You see how fired up she was? This is how you know this is serious. This is how you know it's real. Otherwise, we wouldn't be out here, right? And as a professor, Don't you think the demands are simple, right?
Very simple.
If you know justice, you know peace. Right? If you wrote that on a chalkboard, no, K-N-O-W, justice, you know peace. But if there's N-O justice, there is
No peace.
So what do we do?
No peace.
Right? And we're going to keep it going. Next, representing the Shinnecock Indian Nation, we have Margot and Jennifer. We want to give them a big hand as they share. Thank you. Come on out. Come on out. I came here today to speak directly to Michael Bloomberg.
All right. Yeah.
I appreciate all of you gathering out here on our Shinnecock homelands to bring your issues of injustice to these billionaires who live on our land. But my comments are directed to Mr. Bloomberg, who is hiding behind his walls, his long driveways, his security cameras, his lights, because he thinks that he is safe back there. What he does not understand is that he will never be safe back there, because the spirits of our ancestors who we have called upon to stand with us are bigger than your gates, are stronger than your security cameras, and you cannot keep them out. We call upon them to rise from the ground, to come back through the veil of the spirit world and haunt you until you do right by us. Mr. Former Mayor Bloomberg, Mr. Former candidate for president, you fancy yourself a leader. Well, I suggest that you lead your accountants to your checkbooks and begin to pay your rent. From the moment you stepped on this land and claimed it in your papers as your own, you have not paid your rent. You are in arrears. And I, Tessa Widasqua of the Shinnecock Nation, stand here as your landlord and tell you it's the end of the month. Your rent is due. And we are here to collect it.
I mean, that's my elder. God bless her. I'm not only here to speak to Mike Bloomberg, but I'm also here to speak to you all. I've stayed quiet when it deals to this whole issue, but a story that was posted on Facebook changed that. So I want to read my response to you. And it's called 1492. Since 1492, indigenous people have been murdered, beaten, raped, physically, sexually, mentally abused. Our language was taken away from us. Our land was destroyed. Our water was poisoned. Our ancestors were dug up and put in museums. Our sacred burial grounds were destroyed for golf courses, condos, schools, businesses, uranium, oil, gas, along with committing suicide to wipe us off this planet as if we never existed. Every day since 1492, every day. Standing here right now, they're doing it to us. Understand that. This isn't anything new to us. We have been dealing with this since 1492. I remember hearing and seeing this written or spoken about America's first sin was slavery. It wasn't. Everything that I just said in my last paragraph was America's first sin. And the main problem is it hasn't stopped. The stories that we hear are just one of thousands since 1492. Yes, all lives matter. However, when will that happen? When will justice for all minority communities happen? When will respect, honor, and peace for indigenous people happen? When will true history be told and taught? When will the white race apologize and admit your wrongs? When some of you have, and I respect that. However, it's not enough. As long as injustice prevails and the ones that are continuously perpetuating it, and we all know who they are.
And at his gates.
We all know who they are. But yet we keep voting them in, don't we? Think about it. They have shown who they are, but yet we keep voting them in. You got an idiot now. That we knew who he was and what he did, yet what happened?
Yes!
He became the freaking president of the United States. So we have no one to blame but ourselves.
That's right.
Remember that.
That's right. And we can change it.
Woo!
Oh, yeah. Sure.
It's time to stop talking. Time to stop talking.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
Okay? Action. All right? And that's what we have to do. We have to stop being complacent and do what has to be done. And the first thing you all need to do, is respect the indigenous people. You were on our land. So when you come to our land, you come to us first. You show respect to us first. When you are speaking, you have us speak first.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yes.
That's being respectful.
Yes, yes.
We have been dealing with this since 1492.
That's right.
When are we going to be in the discussion?
Right now.
Okay? When are we going to be heard? Because guess what? We ain't going nowhere.
That's right.
They thought they got rid of us. But we ain't going nowhere. We are going to stay right here. And like what my elders said, our ancestors, be careful.
Come for it.
Because our ancestors are here with us. And they're not here to hurt you. They're not here to do that. They're here to teach you. They're here to let you realize that what you have been doing is wrong. And if you don't stop, the Creator, we're going to have to answer to Him. We're going to have to answer to Him. So all I ask you guys to do is to please respect us. Please respect us. Because that idiot right down there, he don't respect us. That idiot who's in office right now, he don't respect us. Matter of fact, he's trying to take our land from us as we speak. So please, just respect.
Let's give her a big hand. Come on, make some noise. This is who we're standing and respecting and in reverence to, so thank you. Up next, we have Better Be, representing the Taxi Workers Alliance. Come on up.
Brothers and sisters, first we want to say thank you to our brothers and sisters of the Shinnecock Nation for welcoming us here and for allowing us to be in this struggle together. And looking across this crowd, all I can think is we are the absolute worst nightmare of the billionaire class. We are a multiracial, multi-ethnic, multi-generational group of people that are conscious. We know where power lies. We know where power should not lie. And we know that we have the ability by organizing to change injustice. And we understand that issues come and go, but ultimately our fight, it's about the system. It's about the system that would say that it is okay for a small group of people, less than a dozen, to own more than the majority of the people across the earth. There's something wrong with the system where hundreds of thousands of people have died across the globe, 1 million, from a pandemic like we have not seen in modern history. And at that same moment, the billionaire class became even richer. There is something sick with the system, and that sickness is not just COVID. That sickness is rooted in economic inequality that essentially believes that when you are poor, when the color of your skin is dark, when you are a woman, when you are the elderly, when you're no longer considered productive in this economy, that you somehow do not matter. That is the real sickness. That is the sickness. That's the pandemic that all of us have risked our health in the middle of a public health pandemic to fight. And that's why we are their worst nightmare. Because people like us understand what the real issues are, and we will not give up. There's so much to say about Michael Bloomberg, our billionaire mayor. Not only did he see record high incarceration of people of color, completely criminalized, especially young Black and Latino men. Not only did he offset the highest rates of homelessness in our city and look to privatize the schools as well as expand the police forces, I want to share with you what he did to us as taxi drivers. After 9/11, when the economy took a hit, and by a hit, what I mean is Wall Street got scared. At that time, the way that he balanced the books was basically to sell more medallions of yellow cabs. It turned out that in 12 years, the Bloomberg administration raised $850 million off the backs of mostly immigrants of color who purchased those medallions. Even though the Taxi and Limousine Commission under Bloomberg knew that the value of the medallion had dropped, they put out literature. They put out literature claiming for the value to be actually 13% higher than they knew it to be. And when the report started showing it, they stopped completing those reports and making them public. And then 1 year before he was to leave office, he then brought in Wall Street finance companies like Uber and Lyft, completely unregulated, which not only destroyed the yellow cab industry, but it destroyed the profession of driving as a full-time job. It not only, they destroyed taxi driving jobs and replaced them with poverty gigs, where over 80,000 of Uber and Lyft drivers themselves were found to earn below the minimum wage. This is a system where we know the average CEO makes 200 times more than the average worker. But in our industry, the CEO of Uber makes 5,000 times more than the average driver. That is the business model that Michael Bloomberg unleashed on a workforce of 200,000 men and women.
Not the poor.
That's the read!
Not the poor.
That's the read!
Not the poor.
Not justice!
No peace!
Not justice!
No peace.
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 He could have raised the taxes, or actually, I don't even want to say raise the taxes. He could have imposed the taxes on the wealthy. Okay, but instead, he chose to basically do mostly workers, poor workers of color and immigrant workers in order to balance the budget on their backs. Since then, we have had 9 drivers commit suicide in 1 year alone. During the pandemic, over 83% of driver families did not have enough money for even 1 week of groceries and meals because people have been forced to live day to day. Poverty kills. Inequality kills. These billionaires, by not paying their share, it's not just a moral failure, it is a form of homicide. Because this is how the poor die. We die from poverty. And this is how we become poor, because they hoard all the money. Even when they can't take it beyond the grave, they would still rather die wealthy, rather than to let us live with a sense of dignity. And so we, as a multiracial, multi-ethnic, multi-generational organization, movement, we are here to say to Michael Bloombergs of the world, you will pay your share. We will defeat you. The world is changing because we, the people, are awake, and you can never buy that, sell that, or shut our eyes ever again. People power!
Union power!
People power!
Union power!
People power!
Union power!
Stop the greed! Stop the greed!
Pay your share.
Stop the greed!
Pay your share. Driver power.
Let's give a big hand.
Driver power.
All right. So, were all the speakers great just now? Can you give all the speakers, our activists, our leaders a big hand? Can we give them a big hand? So we get ready to go to our next stop. But before we go, I want y'all to make a lot of noise and let Mike Bloomberg know
what we're demanding for him and many others to do. Tax the rich!
Not the poor!
Tax the rich!
Not the poor!
Tax the rich! Tax the rich! Thank you so much. We got here next instruction. Everybody listen up. I need everyone to go to their cars quickly, but wait. We have someone else that got to say something after me. Hazard lights on, please. We have to stay together at the next location, which is 175 Mohawk. Look at your papers if I said it wrong. And we're going to meet at Mohawk Road and march down